Hey, everybody. This is welcome, I guess. Just welcome. I was going to say, I was going to do like a whole big long intro, but I don't guess I really fucking need to because, I mean, this is kind of more of a laid back MOL. We're not doing really an interview or anything like that. We're just kind of more or less hanging out and bullshitting with people and, that kind of stuff. So, a much different stream than you guys are used to seeing from me. But I wanted to hang out and introduce you guys to somebody who means a whole lot to me. Somebody that um, he runs a podcast called Major's Mess Hall Podcast. He lives in Canada, and he's going to tell you a little bit about himself. And I guess without further ado, I'm going to bring up my boy here. Everybody say hello to my man, Gavin Lee. Gavin, what up, my man?
How's it going?
Hey, it's going. How you doing?
Good. I'm sure maybe the people that don't know who I am, which is probably most people, maybe the accent's throwing them off because obviously you mentioned I'm in Canada, which is true, but I'm originally from the UK, hence the accent. But I've lived in Canada now for 13 years and haven't lost the accent, which is good because I'm determined not to lose my British accent. So far, so good.
Hell yeah. I mean, it is what it is. I'm sure it definitely stands out, especially in Canada. I mean, I'm sure you get stopped all the time. So
yeah, so like a lot of the time, it's my accent's quite thick, so a lot of people here don't understand what I'm saying. Sometimes it's constantly having to repeat myself all the time. It was actually funny the other day. I was out with a friend of mine who lives here, but is also from where I'm from, same city and everything. And we were out and we got breakfast together. And the breakfast came with 2 eggs, a couple of pieces of bacon, hash browns, and some toast. It was very basic. And my friend said when we were ordering the food, I said, I wanted my eggs over easy and, white bread. So then it comes from a friend and he's like, I don't mean to be awkward, but can I just have 1 egg? And I was like, why don't you just get the 2 eggs? It comes with 2 eggs. I don't want 2 eggs. I want 1 egg. And the guy goes, okay. So anyway, like 20 minutes later, the guy comes back to the table with the food, 1 egg. That's it on the plate. Nothing else, just 1 egg. My friend's like, that's not what I meant. I meant 1 egg less than what comes with the meal, not 1 egg on its own. So it's just little things like that, like the way we phrase certain sentences, can be misinterpreted and stuff. So it is a little bit frustrating, but you get used to it after a while.
I grew up. My grandmother was Irish, and well, she's predominantly Scottish, But I grew up my whole life, I've grown up my whole life hearing her talk like that, so I just kind of became adapted to it, It just became the kind of the second nature to be yelled at, hearing that voice all the time. So, I became accustomed to it. So when I first heard you speak, it was just kind of like, whatever, no big deal. I just like
nature, yeah.
It just kind of skipped right on past me, as opposed to other people just be like, hey, wait, what? What'd you just say? Hold on. Say something else. Say anything else. Say, throw another shrimp on the barbie. It's like, wrong country, asshole.
Yeah, exactly. I've had that before, yeah. I've had that a few times. Like there's one guy in works that he started and he's from Australia. And all the Canadians are coming up to going, have you spoke to Sean yet? He's from Australia. And I'm like, that's got nothing to do with me. It's nowhere near where I'm from. Like, what planet are you on? And I just, and I'm like, oh yeah, well, Mike, he's from the States. You must know Mike. Like, come on. Not everyone's the same. Canadians are not the same as Americans. Brits are not the same as Australians. It's just the small-mindedness of some people.
So you're from the UK. That's awesome. I got a friend from Auckland. Awesome.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, cool. Right on. Just fucking go with it. Well, I mean, what I brought you on for really was, to talk about the podcast and that kind of stuff, So can you tell for the folks I'm hoping to drive over to listen to the podcast a little bit about the show, and actually a lot of bit about the show and just kind of what it's about and all that good stuff?
Yeah, most definitely. So the podcast is called Major's Mess Hall, which is quite deceiving because it's got nothing to do with the army or food or anything like that. What it is, and I don't know if you know this, Josh, I feel like you might, but back in 2015, a guy called Scott Powers and another guy called Craig McCallan, Craig's in the UK and Scott's in the US. We're all friends online because of the Canadian TV show Trailer Park Boys, which I know Josh is a fan of.
Yeah.
And there was another guy called Dave Leonard who was also a friend of ours. He lived in Canada as well, and the three of us used to play Xbox together. We used to play Grand Theft Auto, and we'd go on. I think it was called Twitch. We only did it the one time. Like, well, when I say one time, a bunch of times in 2015. So we would play that game, and we'd go on live, and Dave Leonard would sit there and listen to us, and he thought the three of us playing this game and antagonizing each other and winding each other up was so funny, and he just loved the camaraderie, basically, and he was part of it. He just didn't play the game with us. He just listened, and he loved it. And one thing that Dave used to do was he used to make cooking videos, and he'd put them on YouTube. And his nickname was Major. We used to call him the Major. So he used to call his cooking videos Major's Mess Hall. And it was like him, and he'd do things like, people would dare him to do certain crazy things with food. So he would make, I remember one time he made, what was it? It was a donut. It was a cupcake donut. And like, it sounds quite, like it might be quite simple, but it was so intricate the way he did it. And it was amazing. And he did it step by step. And it was fantastic. He was so good at cooking. And, that's what it was. It was a cupcake donut, but the twist on it was like a spring roll as well. So you'd break it open, and it had the contents of a spring roll inside this cupcake donut. And it sounds,
wow,
but it was actually, I mean, I never tasted it, but it looked incredible the way he did it, and it just came together wonderfully. And he used to call these cooking videos Major's Mess Hall, and he always started it with saying, "Hey, welcome to Major's Mess Hall." And anyway, sadly, Dave passed away in 2015. We lost him, and the three of us felt lost. We were like, our friend had passed away. We never got to meet him in person. And as you know, it doesn't matter if you don't meet these people you meet online in person. You know, you and me have never met in person, and we're great friends. You know, Absolutely. I mean, my wife, we fell in love before we met. You know, that's why I'm in Canada. We fell in love on the internet. And anyway,
yep.
So
happens
Dave,
all the time.
Yeah, well, yeah, it does now. Back when me and my wife met, people were like, "You're weird," and they used to say to her, "He sounds like he's like a serial killer or something." And she's like, "Well, just met on the internet." Like, but nowadays everyone's doing it. Anyway, slightly off track. So Dave sadly passed away. So the three of us were like, "What are we going to do?" So we were like, "Why don't we start a podcast?" Because Dave always enjoyed listening to the three of us and thought we were really funny. So why don't we just do a podcast, and it'll make us feel like he's still around? So we were like, yeah, okay. So we started a podcast. We went, what are we going to call this podcast? And we thought, why don't we just take the name Major's Mess Hall, because that's the name he used when he was being creative online. Let's just use that. So that's what we did, and that's why it's called Major's Mess Hall. So
yeah,
bit of a long story, but it's quite sweet. And at the start of every single episode, you'll hear faintly in the intro music, "Hey, welcome to Major's Mess Hall." That's Dave Leonard. We took it from one of his videos. So Dave is on every episode, basically.
Right. Yeah, something I love about that too is that what you were saying in the intro is you guys have had like 3 or 4 different iterations of your intro, and in every single one, no matter what, that's always got Dave's voice. Like,
he's always in it. I've always made sure,
no matter what.
Exactly. The first piece of music that we ever had wasn't actually ours. We were a bit naughty. We found a song online, and it just kind of fitted, so we kind of stole it and used it for like, I think it was about 15 episodes. And we used his voice on that. And then my friend Mike, who's I do music with him now. I've known him for years. I asked him if he would compose a proper theme tune for us, and he did. And he's done the last 3 that we've had, because I like to switch it up every now and then. And I always make sure that Dave's voice is on it, because it's very important to me that he remains part of this. The podcast has changed so much over the years. I've actually recently started listening to all our early episodes, and it's actually it's quite melancholy. I was telling one of my friends the other day that like there's moments where I get really sad listening to it, because things have changed so much. Not like, I'm not saying it's changed in a bad way, but a lot of people that were involved back then aren't involved anymore, and it's sad listening to it. It's also really joyous as well. Like I'm actually really enjoying listening back to them, because I'm laughing at things again I haven't heard for years, and I'm remembering the little games we used to play and things. So I'm like planning on bringing some of it back again. But it is quite sad. Like Craig and Scott are no longer part of the podcast anymore. They'll come on periodically, but Craig's not interested in doing it anymore, and Scott's moved on and he's doing his own podcast now, which is fantastic. It's called PowerPoint Podcast. It's worth checking out. And I will go on his podcast and he will come on mine, and it's great. But it's like, I miss the old days of like I say, the camaraderie between the three of us, and you know, and there was other people that used to come on that I don't speak to anymore. We've kind of drifted apart, and I'm like, yeah, it's great. We've been doing it for almost 9 years now, and I've decided I want to at least get to 10 years, because it's just a nice round number. You know, Jonathan Torrance talks about, you know, he played J-Rock on Trailer Park Boys, and he did 10 years. He did 10 seasons. It was longer than 10 years all in all, but he did 10 seasons, and he stopped at 10 because he thought it was a nice round number. And I agree with him. It's to stop now would be like, oh, I was so close to doing 10. So I'm not saying I'm going to stop at 10. I'll be quite happy to if I feel like it's time to throw the towel in. But yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed doing it. We have celebrity guests that come on. I have a bunch of different co-hosts that come on periodically. You've been on and hosted a couple of episodes with me, and it's just great fun. It's therapeutic, and it's a good way of, it's an outlet. You know, I'm sure you feel the same about your channel. It's an outlet. It's like a vlog. You can just talk about whatever you want because you're in charge, and it's whatever you say goes. And that's what I like about it.
Yep, 100%. That's what I like doing with this channel. I like reaching out and trying to help people, you know, that kind of thing. Everybody's heard it 1,000 times. The people that do come to my channel and stuff, they know what it's all about. You know, I don't have to really have to reiterate all that. But you know, I try to have a different purpose, you know, a sole purpose, trying to help people, that kind of thing. But do stuff like this as much, you know, or as well, just kind of, you know, hanging out and bullshitting and having, you know, people that I feel my friends over here would find very interesting. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? That's kind of what I was trying to do, you know, with a little help from my friends. I've talked to Jono, I've talked to Jeremy. Um, they're both on board with it, just kind of a scheduling issue, but that'll, you know, it'll happen when it happens, kind of thing, you know. Also reached out to Mike Smith, and he kind of replied back as well, like just kind of a vague, you know, sounds good, but you know how that is.
Yeah, it's hard. It is hard. It's hard pinning some of these people down because they're so busy, but their hearts are always in the right place. And if you catch them at the right time, they will do it. I mean, I know, especially Mike and Jono, you know, like, and Jeremy as well. Those three have all been on my podcast, and I know you've done video chats with them before. And yeah, they're great guys. Like you say, it's just a scheduling thing. And yeah.
That's what I've explained on here, but it's not really much of like a clout chase kind of thing, because it's just, there are people you just know, you know.
Yeah.
But me and you actually know J-Rock. We know Jonathan Torrens, you know, like we know Mike Smith, you know, that kind of Jeremy Taggart. We can actually reach out and talk to them. You know, I know, well, I'm not going to say his wife's name, but I'm actually friends and talk to his wife all the time. You know, hey, how you doing? She checks in to see how things are going.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, so it's a weird thing with it just being like, you guys like Trailer Park Boys? Or somebody will bring it up and mention it, and it's just kind of like,
yeah,
you want to say like, yeah, I know so and so, but you
exactly,
just don't, just leave it alone. Because
and
like,
it's funny, but it's like when you sort of get to know these people, it kind of, and again, not in a bad way, but it like it changes things. I remember that, like, I mean, I do know Mike Smith reasonably well. You know, I've spent time with his family. I've been around to his house. We've been out for dinner. Really nice guy. We have a mutual friend. That's how I got to know him. And Mike is just such a generous guy that, like, when I got to know him, it felt weird being a fan, because I remember coming back home to my house one day, and I looked on the wall, and he had this framed. It was a bunch of when I met all the cast of Trailer Park Boys, and I had them all in a frame, and there was a news article in there because I got to go to one of the premieres when one of the movies came out. So it was like all covering all that, all in this one frame. And I'm like, it just feels weird having that on the wall now. So I actually ended up taking it down. And I've kept everything that was in it, but it just felt weird having it on the wall, because it's like I say, the cast is so friendly that it's quite easy to make friends with some of them, because they're so open. They don't look down on anyone. It's just,
it's weird.
They know they acknowledge that you're a fan, but like they'll take an interest in what you do, and they want to talk to you about what you're doing and stuff. And I remember at one point Mike had, I mean, I don't know if it's going to happen now just because of it, again, scheduling, but Mike had mentioned me doing some vocals on the up and coming Bubbles album that he's doing. And just to be asked, Like, because you're thinking, who the hell am I? You know, like, why would he ask me? But it's just like he's acknowledged that you're good at doing something, and you know he knows how much it would mean to you to be involved. So why not? And it's reasons like that why I love
You're
the
gonna be
Treasure
on
Park
that?
Boys so much. What's that?
You're gonna be on that?
He had asked me to do backing vocals, and he told me that
Really?
there was two tracks in particular of like there were certain notes that he said, you know, you can hit them, and you could do a better job than me. So because doing Bubble's voice over the years, it's affected his octave range. So he said like it'd be good to get you in to do it, and I was like, yeah, sounds great, but I don't think. I think just due to scheduling issues, I think it's already been done by somebody else, but I don't know that for certain. And
Okay.
he knows that I'm available if he wants me to do it. But just to be asked in the first place was like, wow. I mean, how incredible is that? Because you know you look up to someone and you admire what they do, and you love the art that they create, and then sort of be invited on to do that. I remember, I mean, I got to do a song with a pop singer from a pop group from back in the 90s. I got to record a song with him that I wrote, and he wrote a rap to go on the song. And we did a contract and everything. It was, he got paid for doing it. We paid him. And I actually printed a copy of the contract and framed it because I'm like, this is somebody I used to listen to when I was a kid. I still do, but like, you know, I used to listen to this guy sing in his band, and now he's on one of my songs, and that's
Yeah.
incredible. Like, it's just stuff like that blows me mind. But it's like there's just some really nice people out there.
Yeah. That's kind of the way it is with Jeremy. You know, like I know him a lot better than I know anybody, you know, as far
Yeah,
as, well, I mean, no, you know,
yeah,
but yeah, I mean, I can call Jeremy on the phone. I can text Jeremy if I wanted to. You know what I mean? That kind of stuff. You know, he's
yeah,
just, you know, he's that kind of, he's an open dude, like you said. He'll reach out to you, like he'll actually send you a message and be like, "Hey man, how you doing?" Or "Hey bud, how's it going?" You know, just,
yeah,
you
yeah,
know, "You've been doing
yeah,
all right?" You know, it's like, yeah, you know, it's like this dude's a rock star. I mean, he's from Our Lady Peace. You know, it's
yeah,
like that. It's just mind blowing. You got to learn how to separate the two. And I always say that, you know, living here in Nashville, you kind of learn how to separate the two, because you see a lot of country stars and stuff like that. And it's kind of like that commercial. I don't know if you have it in Canada, but there's a guy that turns around, there's LL Cool J standing there, and you see him go like that, and he looks back at the guy. He goes, "All right, I need you to focus." He's like, "Yes, that's LL Cool J behind you. Now there's a bubble around him. Do not disturb him." And the guy goes, "Hi, I'm Ted," and turns around and goes, oh, like drops his, you know, to just like face palmed, you know. That's the way it is here. They just leave them alone, you know. If you look
yeah,
over, because I've done that before. I've been whatever, you know, and it's crazy shit like Home Depot or Cracker Barrel or something like that. You know, you just look over, and it's like, holy fuck, that's Alan Jackson. Oh, all right, you know. And then you just kind of just keep going, you know. But it's
yeah.
like that's holy fuck, you know.
I did it.
Maybe
I
not
did it
Alan
once.
Jackson, but you know, shit like that, you know.
There was one time here, and it was during when we were getting married. A lot of people from the UK had come over to visit. This in 2011, and Pierce Brosnan was here filming at something. I don't know what it was, but a movie or a TV show or something. And so we knew that he was around because people had spotted him out and about. Anyway, I'm out with my friends one day, and there he is sitting there, like he's just sitting on his own. Didn't have anyone with him. I think he was on his phone or reading something. He had a drink. He was a glass of beer in front of him. He was sitting outside of a little bistro. And my friends like going, go over to him. You know, you're getting married next week, like, or in a couple of days. Go and say hi to him, and you know, tell him you're a fan, and we'll get a picture if he's up for it. And I'm like, oh, okay. So I went over to him, and I regret it now because it didn't go down very well. So I approached him, and he's got his head down like this, and he looks super cool. You know, his hair looks cool and everything. He's just sitting there. And I said, Pierce, because I didn't want to draw attention to him. I said, Pierce. So he looks up, and I said, hi. I said, I'm a really big fan. I was just wondering if I could just get a quick picture with you. And he just looked at me. He had sunglasses on, and he just went, and he just shook his head. And I went, oh. And he goes, no. And I was, oh, okay. And he goes, but I will shake your hand. And he just put his hand out, and I shook his hand. And I said, thank you very much. And he goes, have a nice day or something, or you're welcome or whatever. And then I walked away, and I just felt like such an idiot because he didn't want to be spotted. He didn't want to be approached. He was on his day off, obviously, from
Yeah.
filming. And shortly after, like a couple of minutes later, he got up and he left. And I'm like, I fucking disturbed him. Like, but now I joke around now and I say that I actually blew James Bond's cover. So, yeah. I mean, at the time, I remember thinking, bit of an arse, like, like, why wouldn't he just take a picture? But in hindsight, he's on his day off. He didn't want to be spotted, and he had his sunglasses on, which I assume he probably thought was a little bit of a disguise. And yeah, anyway.
It's
So
like,
yeah, I've learned my lesson
you're
now. If I see people like famous people, just leave them alone.
yeah, it's like, yeah, you stand out like a sore thumb, man. Just, I mean,
Yeah,
you are who you are. It's kind of like seeing Morgan Freeman or somebody in public, I mean,
yeah.
or somebody
I
to
mean,
that caliber.
well, it was. I suppose the thing is as well. It's there's certain people where I wouldn't be able to not go. Like, think of the biggest celebrity that you admire, like whoever, male, female, whoever it is that's still with us. If you've seen them out and about, because you really hold back from going over, and if it was the most, you know what I mean, like somebody that you just like. Because for me, if I seen Ricky Gervais, I'd have to go over to him. There's no way I couldn't hold back because I'd regret it for the rest of my life. You had a chance. You could have went and said
Yeah.
hey to him. I think the one thing I wouldn't do is ask for a picture because that's quite invasive. I think I'd have to just acknowledge their existence and just say, like, I'm a massive fan. I just wanted to say hi and then back off.
Yeah. And I have a picture of me with Chad Smith from the Red Hot Chili Peppers. And,
Yeah, seen that. Yeah, that's
that
cool.
was strictly by chance. It was just happened to be there. And he literally was just like, hey, man, I was just like, I'm a huge fan, obviously. I have to say hello to Chad Smith. It just kind of is what it is. I mean, holy fuck, he's literally like an arm length away from me. He's right there.
Yeah.
So, I walk over, it's just like, hey man, I've been a huge fan since you probably don't know what I'm talking about, but Uplift the Mofo Party Plan. That's like one of their first albums, like way, way, way back in the day. And he was just like, holy shit, and he was just like, well, that's awesome. He's like, you want a picture or something? I was just like, yes, absolutely, I do. I didn't even
So
like
he
hesitate.
offered to do the picture. That's great.
Yeah, he was just like, "You want to do like a picture or something?" Because there wasn't like a big long line of people. It was just sheer chance. He was in a drum shop walking around, and I was in there buying sticks, and Bonnaroo was happening, and I guess because they were closing Bonnaroo that night, so they were, I guess, just in town killing time around Nashville for the day, and yeah, they were walking around a place called Fork's Drum Closet here in Nashville, and where Chad Smith was, and some lady that was with him, but I'm assuming was his wife. But yeah, I mean, he straight up was just like, you want to? It's like, yeah, let's get a picture or something. It's just like, yes, absolutely. Like I didn't even
So
fucking
cool.
hesitate, just jump straight into it.
Yeah.
So that there's times where it's just like you see a certain celebrity and you're like, oh my god, man, that'd be amazing. But you also got to think to yourself, what are you going to ask them? You're instead
Yeah.
of running up to somebody and just being like, holy shit, you're Harrison Ford. Um,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah. Well, see, I'm never
I don't
stuck
know,
for something to say, so for me, that's never a concern because I'll always think of something. Like I did see Paul McCartney once, which was so weird. This was like 20 years ago or 20 something years ago, and he was outside a guitar shop window in Chester in the UK, and he's looking at these vintage guitars, but he's holding his little daughter at the time. She must have been about 4, 5, something like that. And for that reason alone, I didn't approach because he had his child with him. If he hadn't have been with a child, there's no way I could have let that go. Paul McCartney, I would have had to have said something to him. But just being able to see him and give him the nod because he nodded to acknowledge his existence. I mean, I can't say that I've met Paul McCartney, but I've walked by him in the street, which was so cool.
Yeah. That's like going to a lot of these Comic Cons and stuff like that, like we used to do back in the day, is you walk past, like if you go down Autograph Lane, you kind of, there's just like everybody. I mean, there's people from all kinds of different TV shows. You look over and there they are.
Yeah.
Well, if they're not signing anything, a lot of time you can just walk up to them and ask them stuff and just be like, hey, whatever. And that's the thing, man, is you look over and it's like, hey, there's Kane Hodder, I don't really know what the hell I'm going to ask Kane Hodder. He was Jason, Jason
Yeah, yeah,
Voorhees.
yeah, yeah.
I'd be like,
He's
I
supposed to
don't,
be a really nice guy.
oh yeah, he's super nice. He's a really, really cool guy, but I don't have anything to ask him, nothing I could just come off the top of my head. What was it like being Jason? Uh,
Yeah,
was the mask hot to wear? It's like,
yeah.
just dumb shit. I want to ask you something that you've never been fucking asked before.
I think sometimes it's not even about asking them a question. It's about just acknowledging how much you admire what they did and you appreciated it. So just to go over to him and say, "Hey, man, just wanted to quickly say I'm a huge fan, and it's an absolute pleasure to be in your presence. Just wanted
I
to say
have done
hi."
that.
Yeah, just do
Yeah.
that. Shake the hand, and off you go. You can say you've met them, you've complimented them for what they did. You've got to thank them for the joy they brought you, and that's enough, really.
Yeah. I walked over to Robert England and, I shook his hand and was just like, I wanted to shake the man's hand that gave me nightmares as a kid. And he said something like in a Freddie voice. I can't remember. It was like, sleep tight or something like that, and I just kind of went, I was like, oh, that's awesome. It's just like straight
Fantastic.
up struck my nerd chord. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was fucking awesome. He just goes like sleep well or something like that. I was just like, fuck yeah. But that was cool. Well, I want to real quick. I want to real fast before we get into that because we got some trivia questions you and I are going to do here.
Oh yeah.
Here, let's see. I'm gonna go all the way back up to the top. I'm gonna say hello to some folks here. Mr. Terry M, Miss Christy Yant, Miss let me see, and I did say Miss Terry. I'm very sorry, Terry. Mr. Terry M, Miss Christy Yant, Miss Bell. We got Humble Trades in the house. We got Jim with no filter, Pimp Pigeon Ralph, Jen AR-15. How's it going? How's it going? Let me scroll down a little bit further here. Kevin S, my dude, the dude, Lil Main Dabber, Chad, my brother, Platinum Pyro. How's it going? Let's see here, Mr. Fusion, my man. Oh, real quick, I want to throw something out. Um, we have another big content creator on here that he knows for a fact that when they go live, that their chats just, I mean, they are slammed. Well, my man was like, "Look, I'm gonna do a live today," and he's like, "I'm not gonna go over top of you, so you just let me know when you're ready, and we will straight up just end what we're doing, and everybody will jump straight over to yours." And man, Mr. Fusion, if you're still here, brother, thank you so much. If not, then somebody send this to him, clip it, whatever you're gonna do. I don't care. But
That's cool. That's nice. That's a really nice thing to do.
yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much, man. That was huge. And his last stream that he did, you can go to his channel and see, but on his last stream that he did, it was the MOL pre-show or something like that. And I was just like, man, oh, thank you, brother.
That's cool.
So straight up, thank you so much. I greatly appreciate that more than you know.
I
So
wonder
we got
if
Mr.
his
Fusion.
username is Back to the Future related, Mr.
Yeah,
Fusion.
yeah,
That's cool.
yeah, totally. Mr. Rolling, Jaw Wreck. Okay, I'm here. Little Main Dabber still. World famous Chuck D. Miss Chanel, how you doing, dear? Claire UK, good seeing you. Let's see. Claire UK, we're gonna ask you a question here in a minute because Gavin is also from the UK.
Just
Megan
gonna ask if we
Stone.
know each other.
Yeah, wouldn't that be crazy? Megan Stone, what up? Chad still hanging in here, like as they say in the South, like a hair in the biscuit. Uh, little Mama Payday. Going on down here. Miss T Dam, good to see you as always. Brandy B. And Filthy Animal coming in. Let's see here. Kevin S. Kevin S. still here. I think that's everybody. The dude. Let's see. I'm going all the way back down. All the way back down. Sunflower Dragon. Good seeing you as always. And is that everybody? If I'm missing anybody, I'm sorry. If I am, put a middle finger in chat and I will tell you hello. And say, you forgot me,
I've just
asshole.
invited Bertie to come and watch as well because and he's just said he will because Bertie's a huge fan of you and a huge fan of me, and I mean he's a great guy. So
Yeah.
shout out to Bertie who's not in yet, but let me know when he is.
Okay. Yeah, I'm sure he'll be over here. Ford for life, Yankees for life. Miss Bell, Jeff Bice, good seeing you, brother. I believe we're caught up. We're caught up. We're caught up. Maybe, hold on. Miss Natalie, good seeing you. Airborne Legend. And Birdie. There's my man Birdie right there. Check him out. Boom. My boy.
There he is. Hey, Bertie. We'll have to bring him on one day. You know, if you get me on again, bring Bertie on. The three of us.
Oh yeah, we'll definitely do it again for sure, 100%. Because I mean, you know, this is just more or less kind of test and see, you know, and also, I mean, there's your show as well that we can, you know. So, but
Yeah,
your show's
sure, yeah.
in podcast form, so you guys can download his show. But there's actually a link right now in the description to Major's Mess Hall. Sorry, to Major's Mess Hall. There we go.
Thank you. I appreciate you doing that. Yeah, that's great. And hopefully people will be entertained by what we do.
It's in every one of my videos.
Yeah, I know. I do appreciate that, man. I mean, it means a lot to me. It really does.
Well, I mean, you know, that's what we do, man. We cross promote each other. That's kind of the way teamwork makes the dream work kind of thing.
If you can record a promo, like a little jingle for your channel, send it to me. You don't even have to have music. I can put music to it for you. Whatever's easiest for you, and I'll play it. I'll play it as a little ad on the podcast.
Okay, yeah, that's no problem. We can do that.
Either that, or we can just do it sometime. You can just join me, and we'll just record one while I've got you on.
Yeah, we can do that too.
Yeah.
So we can make something happen for sure. What's up, Storm? How you doing? All right, so I have asked Gavin here to write. What was it? It was 5 questions. Yeah, I got 5 questions here that are basically 80s and 90s movie related. So are all yours movie related?
They are, but I don't think you specified to me that we needed 5, so I have 4.
That's fine. Whatever. Just ask a 5th one, then we'll do that.
Yeah. Okay.
Just come up with something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Who's all the Breakfast Club members' names? All right. So I guess since I have more, I'll go first because there's really not like a win or lose. It's just kind of like, hey,
just for fun.
You got. All right. And chat, if you know the answer to any of these questions, don't answer them. Okay. We'll give you a chance to answer. If Gavin doesn't know it or guesses wrong, we'll give the first person in chat the chance to answer it. Okay.
Well, just so you know, I can't see any comment. I don't know if I'm supposed to see comments, but I can't see anything at the moment. So, like,
oh, can you not?
Hold on. Oh, there we go. I just clicked on comments on the.
Yeah. Okay. That's what I said.
Private chat was highlighted, so I couldn't see the comments. Now I can see them now.
And what's crazy is it's written in English, and you actually come from the place that wrote the English.
I wasn't
language.
even looking at it. I wasn't even looking. I was just looking at our chat box.
We invented it, mate. We invented it. All right. So here we go. Question number 1. In Jurassic Park, when they arrive to the island, they hear an announcement that says, "Welcome to Jurassic Park, where blank." A, science comes to life. B, life finds a way. C, man meets beast.
It's got to be A.
It's got to be A. That is wrong. Welcome to Jurassic Park, where life finds a way.
No, seriously, is that what? Because I know that line's said in the film, but I thought that was just the first time it's said is when Alan Grant says it.
I mean, I can look it up. You know, I mean, we can find an audio.
No, I believe you, but I honestly thought that was a line that Alan Grant just comes up with. I'm a huge fan of that movie, and I've just gotten that question wrong. This isn't a good start.
Yeah, Terry nailed it too. That's the reason I answered. I saw Terry got it first. Yep. All right, hit me. Okay. Remember, chat. Don't answer. Don't just hold on.
Okay.
Don't answer.
Here we go. What was the highest grossing film in 1984? Was it A, Ghostbusters, B, Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, C, Gremlins, or D, The Karate Kid? Highest grossing movie in 1984.
C.
Incorrect.
Hold on. Well,
you want me to tell you? You got it wrong, so.
Yeah, hold on. Chat.
Are you going
Anyone?
to give them a chance to answer it?
I said C too. Anyone?
See, Terry's got that one wrong. I can see the comments now. No, it's not B either. It's Ghostbusters. A.
It's A.
Ghostbusters, which ironically today it came out 40 years ago today.
Today? Like it would have
yeah,
came out today in
today.
theaters today?
Officially 40. Yeah, it's officially 40 years old today. Today is Ghostbusters Day, and in New York, where the firehouse is, it was packed with fans today. They were doing special things. I don't know what they were doing, but yeah.
No shit.
Yeah. Funnily enough.
Right on.
So far we've both got the questions wrong.
Hey, it's got to be, it can't just be easy, man. You can't just have softballs the whole time.
The thing is, though, your question was easy. I shouldn't have got that wrong. Like I'm annoyed at myself for getting that wrong.
Okay, here we go. You ready? Here we go.
Yep.
In Ghostbusters 2, they discovered that the slime, the pink slime, will react to happy emotions by dancing. They put the pink slime in a toaster and play what song to make it dance? Your Love Keeps Lifting Me by Jackie Wilson, September by Earth, Wind, and Fire, or Sir Duke by Stevie Wonder?
That would be A.
That would be A. You're exactly right, my man. The toaster's all bouncing around and stuff.
That's right. But they do the same thing as well at the end with the Statue of Liberty. They play the same song.
Yep, exactly. Make the whole big ass. She's a harbor chick.
Yeah.
Oh, she can take it. All right.
Okay, next one. Where are we? Okay, what is the name of the spaceship in the 1986 movie Alien? Is it Aliens, so the second film? Is it A? I can't pronounce some of these names. Nostromo. Is it B, Sulaco? Is it C, Enterprise, or D, Discovery 1?
I think B.
You're going with B. You would be correct. It is Sulaco. I didn't know that until I looked these questions up. I love that movie as well, but I just, yeah.
Yeah. I'm not as familiar with Alien 2 as I am with Alien 1, but I mean, hey, whatever.
Yeah, I like the second one more. The second one, I think it was James Cameron directed the second one, and I just liked it better.
Okay. Hang on, I got a PSA real quick we need to put out there, just so everybody knows. All right.
What?
All right, right on. I don't know if everybody knew that or not, but wait. Griswold, my friend, how you doing, brother? Good seeing you. Alien Romulus looks badass. What is that on? Is it Netflix or what? Is it already out?
I don't know. I've never seen. If it is, I've never seen that one.
Yeah, I'm down. I'm totally down. All right, so my turn. All right. Okay. Here we go. Sorry, got it. Let's see.
Is Sigourney Weaver in this new one that's coming up? I'm asking the confusion. Is she really? Like, does she come back for it? Wow, there's a trailer out for it. I didn't even know.
Oh yeah, no, I'm all about that. So I'll be checking that out when we're done here. I'm on the free version of StreamYard, so I can't really pull up it's just like, oh, I see everybody else doing like a, let's pull up the video. We'll just watch the trailer right quick, or we'll react to this. I can't do that right now, or I don't know how to do it. So right now it's just you and I, and I'll be like, well, we'll check it out later. So be held on November 15th, and Netflix has been rescheduled. Yep, I saw somebody talking about that too the other day. Same thing. Yeah, that's gonna be fucking crazy as hell.
Just that fight, it just makes me laugh because we all know what's going to happen, and it's just anyway.
It's still gonna be. It's just kind of like, I don't know. I mean, it's kind of like WrestleMania or something like that. It gets built up so much, that.
Yeah.
Did you guys have WrestleMania in the UK? Like,
Oh
what
yeah.
was?
Yeah.
Okay, I was gonna say, what was like the version of that?
Yeah. No, we do. Yeah, it's big over in the UK.
Oh, no more Ripley, he says. So no, gone.
Yeah, that's a shame. I was hoping they could have brought it back as like a robot or something. Like, I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah, I mean, they kind of put a cap to that though. I mean, it kind of like capped off her story. It wasn't just like what happened, where'd she go?
True
So,
enough.
still sucks. I'm not saying, that it, but yeah, I mean, holograms, there's so much shit they could do now with, with technology and stuff, even like putting it in the movie kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that'd be cool as hell. I know if they can do it with Yoda, they can do it with Sigourney Weaver. So, all right. Here's my question. I mean, they did, I mean, look, R2 can, shine a little hologram and boom, there you go. So surely they
Yeah.
had the technology to do it in fucking Alien. So
It's
what? Hey,
true.
leave me alone. All right, whatever. All right, listen up. In the movie Big, Tom Hanks and Robert Loggia play a song on a gigantic piano that you play with your feet. What two songs did they play in this scene? Heart and Soul and Chopsticks, Tiny Elephants, or Flight of the Bumblebee, or C, Obla Dee, Obla Da, Yankee Doodle?
It was whatever the answer with chopsticks. I'm pretty sure that's the answer.
A,
Yeah.
Heart
A.
and Soul. Yeah.
Yeah.
Heart and Soul. Blah, 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 blah. There's
Yeah.
actually lyrics to that.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, next one.
So far, you're winning.
With 2.
Hey,
Okay,
whatever.
so
A win's a win, dude. So,
it's
whatever.
true. It's true. Okay, so where are we? What city was RoboCop set in? Was it A, New York, B, Chicago, C, Detroit, D, Los Angeles?
Los Angeles, I believe.
Are we given? That's incorrect. So do you want me to tell you, or are we going to wait and
Nope,
see
we're
what?
gonna let the audience.
Okay.
Give it to the audience.
This is entertaining, isn't it? Just waiting.
Detroit.
That's correct. Detroit. Yeah.
Yeah, boy. There we go. There we go. Look who that is. I love it. Nice bike, my boy. All right. So, okay. All right. So, here we go. Gotcha. Here we go. I got a several on here. So, what was the name of the skyscraper in Die Hard? Nakatomi Plaza? Or, I'm sorry, A, Nakatomi Plaza, B, the Sony Tower, or C, the Hashiro Hotel?
It was A, wasn't it?
Or Hashiro Hotel. It was A, Nakatomi Plaza.
Yeah, I know that because of all the memes that come up at Christmas time. There's like a lot of them include the name of the hotel.
Oh, okay. Right on. Yeah, I guess that's true. I didn't think of it because it is right there. So, all right, your turn.
Okay, this is my last one, by the way.
Okay.
So you've got one more after this, haven't you?
Yep.
Okay.
Just because, why not?
Which 19?
Hold on, I'm sorry. I apologize. Then I have one that I'm going to ask everybody else. So.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, which 1982 film featured a computer named HAL 9000? It was A, Tron, B, Blade Runner, C, War Games, or D, 2010, the year we make contact, which I've never seen before.
I want to say War Games. Matthew Broderick.
Incorrect.
Damn. All right. Crowd, here we go. See if anybody heard it again. You may have to re-ask it again.
Yeah, I don't mind re-asking it. Yeah. We've got a B there. Same B. No, that would be incorrect.
Tron?
No, not Tron.
Okay.
Yeah, it's 2010. Yeah, so the answer D.
Loki.
2010, the year we make a contact. I've never seen or heard of that film before ever.
I haven't either. I've heard of A Space Odyssey. You know, that's 2001. So
yeah. Anyway, yeah, they're my questions anyway.
Okay. Right on, right on.
Which I thought were actually quite. They were within the same sort of vein as your questions. I thought they weren't any more difficult than yours or any easier than yours, which is quite weird because we didn't talk beforehand and we never used the same place to get our questions from. So
no, these came off the top of my noodle. Like I was just straight up asking.
Yeah, I looked them up. I was like, I need help.
No, I got to thinking. Me and my wife were sitting here the other night and we got to looking around and was just like, you know, like going through YouTube and stuff, and was just digging through 80s movies and that kind of stuff. But okay, hold on one second, Mr. Fusion. Let's see. Hang on. All right, 1 second, and then I got you. All right, I got one final question. We're going to do really, really quick. At the end of the, excuse me, at the end of the Breakfast Club, Claire, Molly Ringwald, puts, I'm sorry, what did Claire put in John Bender, Judd Nelson's hand? Was it A, a note, B, a ring, or C, an earring?
I actually don't like that film. I thought it was boring. I was expecting
even better.
I was expecting a big payoff, and there was like nothing happens in it. It's literally just detention. That's it. I've done detention before many times in my life. I don't need to watch a movie about it.
And it just pauses and ends with Simple Minds. Don't you forget about me. Yes, it's definitely an earring. Or wait, I'm sorry. Witch from the past had it first. She's right. So hold on a second. All right. Let me see. Invite guests. Sorry, I'm trying to grab something real quick. Give me 1 second, Mr. Fusion. Mr. Fusion. Cool. Right on. All right, cool. Yeah, I was pinning the link because he's going to come up here and show us what's up. There he goes. There he is. What up, my brother?
What up?
What you know good?
Man, I can't believe you guys are up here talking about movie questions and you guys haven't heard about Alien Romulus yet. Come on, guys.
Yeah, never heard of it.
I will tonight, though. I damn sure will because, I mean, it's what did you say it's on Netflix?
No, it's going to be a movie coming out, like a major
just
motion
like
picture.
A straight up movie. Okay.
Yeah. It's I've been hearing a lot more about it here the past couple of months, and they finally dropped a trailer like 4 days ago.
2024. Yeah, I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah, it's in your backstage whenever you're ready to bring it up.
All right. Let's do that.
All right, let me make it full screen. Let me know when you're ready, and I'll hit the play button.
Do your thing.
All right.
Is this really where you want to spend the rest of your life?
You know I don't.
Then this is our only ticket out of here.
Watch this.
What's happening?
There's something in the water.
What do you mean there's something in the water?
No, there's just something in the fucking water.
Face huggers.
Fucking thing's hunting us.
Open the door, come on.
Run.
Hell yeah.
Are you sure you want to do this?
Nice.
I'm telling you, this movie looks badass.
Yeah, it looks awesome.
Dude. It said, yeah, it said Evil Dead on there, and I instantly was just like, say what now? You have my interest.
Yeah. It
I mean,
looks real badass.
yeah,
Especially that part where she's got that light and then you can see inside of her chest when the alien's in there and about to pop out. Oh boy. I can't wait, man. They're going old school. I love it.
well, yeah, no, you know it's gonna be. I mean, they've already brought back face huggers, so there you go. I mean,
Yeah.
they've already shown us those in the in the trailer for it. So
Not that like Prometheus and all that wasn't good. It was, but there's nothing that can beat like the original like 2, you know, because it was all done in space on a different planet, you know.
it was so long though. Oh my god.
I love it.
Prometheus was like 3 hours later.
Yeah, I know. I didn't. You know, they had their good merits and bad merits, but I don't know. It is what it is. I get it. I get why they did it, but
Rocking the old school Superman glasses.
hell yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna jump down. Good to meet you, Gavin. Thanks, MOL. Appreciate it, man.
Yeah, you
bro.
too, man. Take
Yeah.
care.
Come back anytime you like.
All right. Have a good one, guys.
All right.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
cool.
yeah.
That looked awesome. The guy who says there's something in the water, he sounds like he's from where I'm from. So I need to look up where he's from. Because he sounds like if he's not from Liverpool, he's from Manchester, which is not far at all where I'm from. So it's nice to hear representation. Because I find that like there's not like my accent's not really an accent you hear in movies. You hear British accents, but not specifically where I'm from. So yeah, that was something that stood out to me.
No, I've asked you before, like in private, but I would be curious for everybody else to hear the answer. A person that's from Liverpool, is the Beatles like still like a massive, massive thing there, or is it kind of
Yes.
like Memphis and Elvis, where it's just kind of like cool? It's
No, it's
everybody
like
drives by Graceland every day, and it's not really. It's like okay, cool. I see Graceland every day on the way to work. You know.
I mean, I suppose it's like yes. I mean, like I said, I've seen Paul McCartney out and about, and it's like it's super cool because it's Paul McCartney. Probably wouldn't have been the same if Americans had seen him in the US somewhere. It'd be a bit different, maybe. But Liverpool's incredibly proud of the Beatles because the Beatles put Liverpool on the map. People only know of what Liverpool is because of the Beatles. So there's a lot of touristy things. There's statues everywhere. You can do tours to go and see where they grew up, and all that is super cool. It's actually quite annoying when you go down to London because that's where Abbey Road is. It's in London. They try and cash in on the Beatles. So all around London, it's like Union Jacks with the Beatles on them and stuff. And it's like, they're from Liverpool. They're not from, stop trying to sell it like they're from London. They're not. Oh, yes, they're British, but it's frustrating. They belong to Liverpool as I see it. And it's Liverpool's gift to the world.
Nice. I love that, man. I love that. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, because like I said, sadly enough, and the people that that are here and stuff, I mean, Elvis is still a big deal. I don't want to like try to brush off Elvis, like who cares, whatever. But it's just the music has progressed so much, and things have gotten so much different that truly like the old heads still kind of hang on to Elvis, and there's not really. You don't hear much of it around anymore, as far as like, and definitely you don't hear it in like social media. I mean, when's the last like Elvis remix you've heard of something,
Yeah.
I guess that Little More Action song,
I mean, that was like, what, plus 20 years ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So something like that, So, but again, not like taking anything away from Elvis or anything like that.
No, of course. I mean, you've got to figure like how much money he alone brings into the city. I mean, people from all over the world go to see Graceland. So
yeah, still
my friend Kelly's been a few times, I think. So I'd love to. I mean, obviously, the first thing on my list would be to come and see you. But if I ever did come to visit, you'd have to take me there. So
let's see, Memphis from Nashville. That's probably about a 6 hour. It'd be a good day trip.
Oh, is it?
Sure,
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, so what? I mean, you've already came this far, so I mean, hell, at that point, we'll just hop in the car and we'd
Go for a road
drive
trip.
southwest.
Yeah, I'd love that, man. I love road trips, especially in the States, because there's so much to see.
Terry right here making a stand. I agree. George Jones is pretty badass. So, but I mean, again, that's just where we're from. You know what I mean? It is what it is.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you you know me, my taste in music, and you know, I mean, I'm came up on punk rock and you know rap and that kind of stuff. You know, our music tastes have always clashed, but we've always been really good buddies. You know, so it just kind of is what it is. I don't really care. Um, do you have like any taste, any kind of interest at all in country music or anything like that?
Yeah, yeah, I mean, I love all kinds of music. I tend to sing pop music and pop rock, pop R&B. But I mean,
Mhm.
I love all kinds of music, and yeah, country music, yeah, I love it. More so the old stuff as opposed to this new stuff. I'm not really into the newer stuff. I like artists like Keith Urban. I think he's a really good singer songwriter, but anyone new, like really new, it's not really my thing. But I suppose it's like that with most music, to be honest. The newer stuff just doesn't really do it for me.
Yeah, it don't land with me either. Not like I thought it would. I was kind of hoping that I would dig it a lot more, you know, but everything I hear coming out like newer shit's just kind of I don't
Yeah,
know, lackluster for the
and
most
I
part.
think as well, just going back to you saying there that like we've always sort of clashed musically. I think the reason why, I mean, I wouldn't even say clashed, because you're a musician, and I always feel like we calling myself a musician, but obviously I sing and write songs. I think it's a mutual respect thing. So like, you might not be into the kind of music that I like, and vice versa. But it's a mutual respect and love for music in general.
Sure.
And I think that's something that only a musician can truly grasp. So I think the fact that you're a drummer and it just hits differently when you're a musician. You can
Well,
appreciate it more.
yeah, absolutely. And living here in Nashville for many years, I mean for 11 or 12 years, I did nothing but studio session work, you know, with my percussion rig, my congas and, you know, timbales and you know, drums, that kind of stuff, you know. So I played on a lot of different kind of tracks, you know, anything from like Christian stuff to you know, the R&B kind of just basic, you know, Latin salsa. Anybody that needs some kind of, it's like the drum beat is kind of flat. We need some kind of little added, you know, on to kind of carry it along
Yeah.
and just be like, what do you got? And they'll send me a CD of, you know, say 2 or 3 tracks that they're interested in. And from there, I'll go and sit down and try to figure out something that would sound cool with it before I present it to them. And then we'll go back and, you know, that day I'll set up all my shit and they'll just be like, yeah, that sounds good. Let's run that, you know.
Yeah.
Or what if we did this instead? And boom, you're off to the races. You're, you know, you're up and recording. But you don't really you don't get to pick and choose your songs or your material unless you're in a band. But if you're doing session work, the genre and that kind of stuff, I mean, you can turn it down all you want, but they're going to stop calling you. Is what's going to
Yeah.
happen, you
Of
know.
course. Yeah. Yeah. I was doing
So
vocals for a while for an 80s synth rock band called Men in the Sky, and it was great fun. Not my kind of music. I mean, I was being paid to sing the songs that were being written.
mhm.
And I mean, now when I used to go back to the UK, we'd do live gigs. He'd pay me to do shows and stuff with them, and I always gave it 110%, because I mean, if you can't, then you shouldn't be doing it. But it was never really my thing, so it is different. But then if you turn it down, they're just gonna find someone else. So
Yeah. I mean,
yeah,
it's at that point, money talks, you know, and I hate to be like that, but I mean, money talks, you
yeah,
know.
no, it's true. I sound bad saying it, but that's the reason why I stuck it out for as long as it did, was because it just. I mean, also living in Canada made it a little bit tough, because I couldn't do live gigs whenever he wanted to. He'd have to schedule them around when I was visiting back home.
Yeah.
Which I always appreciated. But yeah, it's nothing beats doing the music you want to be doing.
Oh, for sure, for sure. I mean, again, start your own band, and you know, you can have all that creative control you want, but man, it having to go through it and just sit and pretend to be like, man, this is badass, I'm loving this, or when they play it back, you're just like, in all reality, you're just kind of like, I mean, it's cool, I'm not gonna sit there and be like it sucks, because I have a hard time saying anything. It just fucking sucks, because it don't suck. It's actually a good song, but it's just not my style, Here I am wearing a Misfits shirt, listening to your Christian song that I just put congas down on, and my shirt literally says, "Die, die, my darling," that kind of shit. So, it is what it is, but people have learned to accept me, just be like, well, that's Josh. That's kind of the way he is. Sorry, you guys, I'm MOL, but it's like, that just kind of become like in studios and shit. They just kind of see me coming and just be like, oh yeah, just that's who he is. That's the way he looks,
Yeah.
So, I've never made any, I've never tried to hide that or anything like that. Just who I am. So, well, man, I want to see if anybody else has any questions real quick, and then I think you and I are gonna call it a night here. See what everybody else has got.
I do have a question for you as well.
Absolutely, ask away.
Yeah.
What you got?
Have you ever read, and if you haven't, you must, have you ever read this graphic novel?
The Last Ronin. I've heard of it, never read it. No.
Dude, come on. First of all, you obviously grew up on the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. You must, yeah. And I mean, what kid didn't love them? So that's what the book's about. And you have to, it was written, this is what I love about it. It was written, it's by the two guys that created the Turtles. So it's not just like a fan that's like, oh, I'm going to write a story. It's just so good. And they're supposed to be making a movie and a video game. And obviously nothing beats when something's written down, nothing beats that as opposed to the movie. So as much as I'm looking forward to the movie, the book is never going to be beaten. So
who was it that passed? Was it Kevin Eastman that passed away?
I don't know, to be honest.
Or Mike Laird? Or no, what was his name?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know.
It's Laird and Eastman, the guys that created the Ninja Turtles. They created all four of them.
Yeah, well, so I mean, this story's quite old now, but I mean, I've just recently read it, and it's incredible.
Does it say it on that book right there? Does it say on there? Because it's based off of that. The Last Ronin is still based around the Ninja Turtles verse.
I mean, yeah, it's about it just says it was written by Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So there you go. That's awesome. So I bet it is. That's what I was trying to figure out. Is it going back to the old story? Because there's an old Last Ronin story as well. It makes me wonder if they're like coming back to it. So
I mean, I think it probably is. I'm not familiar with that, but it's yeah. I mean, it's about like one surviving turtle, which I'm sure you.
Nice. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So it's,
I'm already into it. I already got an idea what you're talking about or what it's about. So
yeah,
if that's the case, then they're bringing back that
it's dark, man. It's not a kid's book. It's dark.
Oh, absolutely.
Like it's fucking graphic. So
well, the Ninja Turtles started out as a dark story. I mean, if you read any of the other stuff, I mean, there's fuck and shit and god damn it, and there's all this like in the book. There's rape. There's I mean, oh sorry, the R. My bad. There's that going on. There's all this stuff going on in those books, and people don't fucking understand that. It's like, yeah, go back and read the old like issue 1. You can get them in trade paperback.
It's not all about pizza and skateboarding. It's like
yeah, it's dude. I mean, it is fucking rough, man. I swear to God, I'm telling you.
Yeah,
it is fucking horrible. But well, Gavin, my brother, thank you so much for coming and hanging out with me.
Thank you for having me on. I had so much fun, and I'd love to come back on again sometime. It was honestly a blast. Loved it. And thanks for everyone that stuck out listening to me go on and on and on and on. It just means a lot. The fact that there's people sitting here watching us talk, it's just great. I just appreciate every single person that's sitting through this. So,
yeah. Well, I want to definitely thank the chat. I want to thank my man Gavin for coming and hanging out with me. I want to also take the time and thank the sponsors of the show, which I also want to thank Mr. Let me see. I just totally lost my train of thought here.
Mr. Fusion.
Matt Bulow for everything he does for the show. Van Shoes, Major's Mess Hall podcast, and Taggart and Torrens. I greatly appreciate all you guys for just being the awesome people that y'all are, and you truly do help the show out more than you know. So just know that. But having said that, I love you guys so much. Everybody, please drive safe. All right, let me see. I'll try that again. Please drive safe.